video, how a 70-year-old woman with end-stage kidney disease and diabetes avoided dialysis for over 6 years by detoxing, the most dangerous kidney toxin of them all. Catherine here, I'm a doctor of natural medicine, and today we take a look at how stage 4 and 5 CKD patients can avoid dialysis for several years. Actually, today's video is all about the work of the only man in the world that's even more pissed at your nephrologist than you are.
What?
Yes, it's true, because the expert behind the case we are going to examine today, Dr. Stephen Thompson, head of nephrology at a top-tier clinic in New Jersey, has had enough. He didn't just write a paper, he called out the entire nephrology world. How? By proving that, despite what most other doctors say, advanced stage CKD can be beaten. CKD can be stopped even with a GFR below 20, says this expert nephrologist and researcher. But there is a caveat. Yeah, like in a monkey's paw wish, there is a catch. What's the catch, you ask? Well, to avoid dialysis, the patient must receive adequate treatment. Easier said than done, right? And that's exactly why Dr. Thompson is so furious at your nephrologist, because far too many patients are not getting the care they need. So now, the big question is, are you receiving adequate treatment for CKD? Or should Dr. Thompson be having a talk with your nephrologist? Well, only one way to tell. The study published by Dr. Thompson focused on what might be the single most important toxin in kidney disease. This 70-year-old woman he worked with was on the verge of dialysis, battling diabetes, hypertension, high cholesterol, high uric acid, arthritis, bone disease, basically the full CKD nightmare package. And yet, after starting a very specific detox protocol, her kidney function stabilized for 6 years. 6 years without dialysis. Let that sink in for a moment. And what made the difference? One toxin, one detoxifier, 2,400 milligrams per day. That's it. And the most incredible part, most of her issues, the bone pain, the joint stiffness, the inflammation, the heart problems, they were all caused by this one overlooked toxin. A single toxin. Now, before we see what it is, don't forget to like, subscribe, leave a comment, tap the notification bell, and get a huge tattoo of my name on your chest. Alright folks, pop quiz time. What sneaky toxin silently destroys your heart, wrecks your arteries, pulverizes your bones, tortures your joints, and makes kidney disease as unstoppable as a freight train with no brakes? Guys, this is a toxin we mostly get from animal-based and processed foods. And yeah, the renal diet is really focused on stopping this toxin. And we have detoxifiers. Most people will guess protein. Alright? Nope, it's not protein. It's even worse. The real enemy is phosphorus. The toxin that damages your heart, bones, joints, and kidneys is phosphorus. But why is it so dangerous, you ask? Because phosphorus can build up in your blood if you get too much of it. And when that happens, your body panics and starts pulling calcium straight out of your bones like an internal robbery. But hey, at least your bones won't complain. Until they snap. And phosphorus is not just bad for your bones. It also causes heart disease and kidney damage. It literally hardens your arteries from the inside out. And Oh, and if you don't have kidney disease, don't get cocky thinking high phosphorus is just a kidney patient problem. Nope. Studies show even folks without kidney disease can start losing kidney function thanks to this delightful mineral. Yeah, phosphorus is even worse than protein for your kidneys, and you absolutely need to keep it under control. Now guys, this phosphorus stuff is serious, so don't hug all this kidney saving wisdom. Share it, text your friends, email your family, heck, mail it directly to your doctor. Lord knows, some nephrologists could use a refresher. So, how do you spot phosphorus before it puts you in dialysis? Here's one of my tables. Go ahead, screenshot it, frame it, put it on a cake. These you see here are the most common symptoms of too high phosphorus levels or hyperphosphatemia. And as you can see, I have divided the table by stages so you can understand a bit better if the symptom is actually caused by phosphorus or by something else. Now, high phosphorus levels come with one symptom that's more specific than anything else. Itchy skin, and you can see how it progresses, getting worse and worse with the progression of kidney disease. In some cases, stage 5 patients who were not being treated ended up with a skin so itchy they were causing scratch wound to their skin. Of course, slightly before ending up in dialysis. And yeah, their doctors should have caught it. They should have tested their patients for phosphorus. They should have given the appropriate detoxifier. But they didn't, and that's probably when Dr. Thompson steps in with his trusty stethoscope slingshot. Now, as I was saying, there are a few other symptoms that can tell if your phosphorus is too high, but they get less and less specific as you go down in my table. Other symptoms many patients notice are muscle cramps and weakness. This happens because phosphorus is an electrolyte used by the body as a signaling molecule, among other things. And do you know what other muscle is controlled via electrolytes such as phosphorus? Yup, your heart. Now, ideally, we shouldn't get to a point where breaking a bone is to be expected or your heart becomes as reliable as a Tesla Cybertruck. And yet, here we are. And yeah, I know what you are thinking. Catherine, you are always teaching us stuff that our doctors should be taking care of, not us. So, do we need to double check our doctor's work now? Well, in theory, you shouldn't, but I must also tell you that I had many patients showing up with incomplete lab reports. Guys, and I'm serious here, I've met so many patients who were not being tested for phosphorus levels and other critical values. I sometimes wonder if these doctors get their degrees from cereal boxes. Seriously, it's gotten so bad Dr. Thompson has started using a boomerang stethoscope just so he can throw it again. Now let's get into the main tools we have to make sure you are not suffering from high phosphorus levels. So, there are two ways to make sure your phosphorus is always in range. The renal diet and the detoxifiers. We will know all about the detoxifier that helped that 70-year-old woman avoiding dialysis for more than 6 years in the next part of the video. Before that, question, how do we reduce dietary phosphorus intake? The main sources of phosphorus in the human diet are animal-based foods and additives. So yeah, consider cutting meat, dairy, and junk food in general from your diet if you still haven't. That's always the first step towards, avoid ending up in dialysis. Now, since you are here, you probably want more thorough eating tips than just, don't eat junk foods. So let's talk about one of those dirty little secrets of the food industry. Because there is nothing big companies love more than stuffing what you eat with all the crap they can, including, of course, phosphate. So, yeah, make sure none of the foods we are going to see now will end up on your table. So, here's the little dirty secret of the food industry. Big Food loves phosphorus almost as much as Big Pharma loves your co-pays. They are adding more phosphate additives even to foods that are traditionally considered low phosphorus foods. So, how do we stop the food brands from poisoning our kidneys, you ask? Well, by memorizing one of my tables, of course, especially the top offenders, or screenshot it. So, I've listed on top the foods that are more commonly going to contain added phosphorus. First of all, sodas and bottled beverages. You are mostly going to find phosphoric acid or sodium phosphate in them. Just two creative names for the same toxin. Now, the list goes on: iced teas, coffee drinks, and here's something I really didn't want to put on this list: milk alternatives. Many CKD patients rely on, rice milk or almond milk to add something to their rolled oats that doesn't taste like water. And now, they're even poisoning almond milk. You thought almond milk was safe? But it isn't. What to do then? The way not to fall for their trap is to always double check the label of what you are buying, even if it's not considered a food high in phosphorus. Look for the ingredients you see on screen right now. If you see any of these on the label, avoid that product. And if you see phosphoric acid on the label, pretend you've seen your ex at the grocery store. Immediately abandon cart and flee the scene. And I know what you may be thinking right now: following a renal diet is harder than it looks. But please don't give up and don't let food brands discourage you from seeking a better health. Because here is the truth: your diet isn't just support. It's your first line of defense. It's the foundation, the game changer, the reason why some patients turn their health around while others keep getting worse. The story I shared earlier, actually most of the success stories I share here, are only possible thanks to a tailored strategy, personalized, precise, and backed by science. So if you're ready to finally stop guessing, to stop being at the mercy of food labels and misinformation, I'm here to help. I offer one-on-one consultations where we create a plan built just for you based on your labs, your lifestyle, and your stage of CKD. And yes, you'll receive a custom renal diet, easy to follow, nutrient balanced, and designed to keep you safe from the hidden dangers we talk about today. So if you're ready to protect your kidney function and maybe even improve it, email me at Catherine@newhopeforkidneypatients.com or just click the link in the description to get started. I'm currently accepting new patients, so don't wait because your kidneys can't wait and you deserve better than guesswork. Okay, up next, let's talk about supplementation. What to take in order to cut down those phosphorus levels? So let's say your diet is on point, but your phosphorus levels are still too high. Yes, this can happen sometimes. It happened to the patient of the study. Despite her diet, she still needed a phosphate binder in order to avoid dialysis. So, what are phosphate binders? These are real kidney savers, one of the few interventions that are as underrated as they are effective. As long as you are taking them the right way. How do we do that? Well, CKD patients have been taking phosphate binders in a million different ways. Some patients just pop Tums from the grocery store. Not that I'd recommend that. Tums contain sugar and other additives, but they are calcium carbonate based and, well, they work. In fact, if you are going to follow the DIY route, consider taking a calcium carbonate supplement instead of Tums. Now guys, something very important I need to mention when talking about phosphate binders is that they do not give you a free pass to eat meat, to drink dark colas and other junk foods. Not how it works. I'm telling you this because I had seen several people in the comment section saying stuff like, yeah, if I want some red meat, I just take Tums afterwards and I'm good. But that's never a good idea. It's like saying, yeah, my car got airbags so I can crash into trees all day long. Nope, not how it works. Phosphate binders aren't magic beans. You can't down a steak, Papa Tums, and think you're tricking your kidneys. This isn't Congress, guys. Now, that said, you may see from my table how there are several different choices when it comes to phosphate binders. Why, you ask? Can't we just all take calcium carbonate? Well, some will need a different approach. Let me explain. If you take a look into your medicine cabinet and find a calcium-based binder like Polycera or Velphoro or something else from this table, well, congratulations! You are already taking the right medication for you because your doctor actually did their job. Dr. Thompson won't throw his stethoscope at them today. Probably. Now, my point is that if your kidney disease is advanced, your calcium may be too high to begin with, and supplementing calcium may not be safe, alright? So different patients, different binders. Other patients may be prescribed an iron-based binder instead of a calcium-based one that would help with anemia as well. How to choose the right binder for you then? Well, that's what doctors are for. Make sure yours is not dropping the ball on you. Some people need iron binders, other calcium binders. If your doctor can't explain that, maybe they shouldn't be allowed near sharp objects or kidneys. And if you want to know more about the renal diet, my video appears for you, and this is all for today. Thank you for watching. God bless you all. Bye-bye.